Hey guys, Crystal Fetzner here, and you guys are on day 2 of your training, and I just wanted to tell you how proud I am of you. You are all totally kicking this training's butt, and Stephanie and I are both super duper impressed with you. So I wanted to share with you my experience today, just in my own personal business, because oh, my phone's blowing up, sorry. I was so surprised by just these small actions I was doing and the difference it was making. So today what I did was I took my big old list of challengers that I had here and I started going through them, and I literally sat here with my Facebook and I was like, okay, this person, and I typed in her timeline and just kind of scrolled through her most recent posts and commented something meaningful on her post. You know, just something like, oh yeah, and I always make sure I tag them so they can see it, especially if it's not a recent post. But I just said, you know, like, oh yeah, totally 100% agree. I do the same thing. Or, you know, asking them a question about it, something like that. Anyway, in doing that, it made my posts pop up in more people's news feeds. So today, before I even got my kids off to school, I had done 2 coaching invites. It just kind of worked into life. The way, you know, people had said something, I had commented, you know, I messaged them about something, and then it just kind of worked into the conversation. So I had done 2 coach invites before I got my kids to school. Now that's not normal for me. I don't want you to think that's typical by any stretch of the imagination. But then I did 2 other invites that were specific for Hammer and Chisel because I had been engaging with these people. Then in addition, I just sent out 2 relationship messages. One of my friends is recovering from breast cancer, and she is having physical therapy. So we've been talking a little bit back and forth. And I just sent her a relationship message like, hey, how's physical therapy going? Turned into a 21-day fixed conversation. She's totally interested. And I think she's probably going to have a challenge pack by the end of the day, which I'm so excited for her. Like, it's going to be perfect for her. And I'm so stoked about it. Another girl messaged her son had had an accident, having a relationship message with her. And the way that everybody's like, how do you morph into talking about whatever? Well, the girl whose son had had an accident, we had been talking about health and fitness previously. So it's funny because whenever I message somebody, it's kind of like when I run into them at the grocery store, like they're embarrassed by their grocery cart. Like they're like, they always want to talk to me about health, and they're like, oh no, this isn't for me, it's for the kids. I'm like, I eat Oreos, it's fine, like I'm not judging you. But so anyway, this girl whose son had had the accident, she right away was like, hey, I'm still on my health and fitness journey, blah, 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 blah. And I said, oh my gosh, that's super great. I don't know if you saw my post that I made on my personal page today, but you know, we're working through the 21-day fix right now. We're on day 8, et cetera, et cetera. It's a really great program. She gave me a little thumbs up. That's kind of the signal like, I don't want to talk to you anymore. So I sent her one more like quick little message like, hey, we have a group starting January 4th. Let me know if you're interested. Well, she came back and she was like, what group do you have starting? So then I kind of played dumb a little bit and I was like, oh my gosh, I didn't tell you about this group. We've got a 21-day fix group starting on January 4th. You should totally do it. Have I told you about that program before? And she was like, no, you haven't. I said, oh, I'm such a bad coach. I'm so sorry. And so then I gave her all the details about the 21-day fix. Now, is she going to get it? I don't know. Who knows? But we kind of morphed from a relationship conversation into a fitness conversation, a 21-day fix conversation. The other woman is actually the waitress in a restaurant that we go to quite often. So I messaged her and I was like, hey, just thinking about you about your therapy. So sorry we haven't been in for our usual Sunday breakfast. Matt and I are working through a fitness program right now, and we have to be really, really diligent with our nutrition. She says, what program are you working through? I really need to do something. These are just morphing those conversations. You always want to take these relationship and these these connection conversations that you're having, and you want to steer them where you want the conversation to go. So I just wanted to share that with you, just these really, really small things that I'm doing just compound and they just blow up. So good luck with your business today, coaches. Everybody have a fantastic day and keep up the good work.